During the night, when Ukrainian drones and naval drones attacked the Russian port of Novorossiysk on the Black Sea, Russian President Vladimir Putin was thousands of kilometers away in the Russian Far East, watching a naval military exercise. He later visited a disputed island between Russia and Japan.
This raises an important question. Why was Putin so far away while major attacks were happening inside Russia? And what message was he trying to send? Ukraine launched a large drone and naval drone attack on Novorossiysk, one of Russia's important naval bases on the Black Sea. According to the claims discussed in the original report, the attack targeted several Russian naval vessels, including frigates, a landing ship, and a corvette.
The attack was not only military. Nearby wheat facilities were also affected, with reports that some operations had to stop and exports could be moved to other locations. This means the attack could have both military and economic consequences.
At the same time, another strike was reported against a petrochemical facility in Russia, around 1,400 kilometers from Ukraine. The report argues that these attacks show Ukraine's ability to strike targets deep inside Russian territory.
Russia also responded. Russian authorities said their forces had shot down 111 Ukrainian drones, although some drones still reached their targets. Russia also attacked the Ukrainian port of Izmail, another important location for grain exports.
But while these attacks were taking place, Putin was in the Russian Far East. He appeared in military clothing while watching a Russian naval exercise in the Pacific. In a statement, Putin warned that if Western countries tried to seize Russian ships or assets, Russia could respond in the same way. He also suggested that the response would not necessarily happen in the same area where Russian ships were targeted.
This was an important message because Russia was talking about a possible response against Western countries, particularly countries such as France and the United Kingdom. Putin's visit to the Far East also had another important element. He traveled to the Kuril Islands, which are disputed between Russia and Japan. Putin visited local facilities and met residents there.
Japan strongly objects to Russia's control of these islands, so Putin's visit can also be seen as a political message to Japan and the United States. There are several possible explanations for Putin's decision to appear in the Far East at this particular moment.
The first is that he wanted to show Russians that the country remains strong and has a large territory with many ports and strategic locations. The second is that he wanted to send a message to Western countries. Russia is not trapped in the Black Sea and has other strategic options around the world.
The third possibility is related to the situation inside Russia itself. The report mentions domestic pressure, including fuel shortages and long lines in several regions. Putin's visits around Russia could therefore also be intended to show the public that the government remains active and in control.
Russia and Ukraine are now facing threats across several maritime regions, including the Black Sea, the Caspian Sea, and the Pacific. At the same time, there are major maritime tensions in other parts of the world, including the Red Sea and the Strait of Hormuz.
The biggest concern is what happens if Russia actually follows through on its threats to seize or attack Western commercial ships. That could turn the current indirect confrontation into a much more direct conflict between Russia and European countries.